Yo, yo, yo. What it do? What it do, Flex?
What up? I see how you this after. I was about to say this afternoon, this evening. How are you this evening, ma'am?
You know what? It's always a good day to have a good day,
I like that.
and
I like that.
hey, it's a good
You
day.
so
So it's a good.
positive.
Oh yeah, I mean, I try to be, because what if you're not, what is it gonna change?
Yeah,
Nothing.
right on, right on.
It ain't gonna change nothing. Well, welcome to the Floor is Yours podcast on tonight. Excuse me. As you can see, it's just the two of us on tonight. I don't know. I think Ivy being chased by a man that want to take her to the old Valentine's Day that he forgot to invite her to. So she gonna come back next Tuesday,
You'll
and
be
she
back.
probably gonna tell us about it. I mean, that may not be the truth, but if the only way to find out is what to tune in next
Tune in.
Tuesday. But anyway, welcome to the Floor is Yours podcast. We would like for you to do what we always want you to do, and that is like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever link you got that makes people interact with you. Share it because we want to reach a different community of people. So we want everybody to come in and get on in here. And once again, like, share, and subscribe. And also welcome you all to the floor is yours. If we happen to not see as you come in, just know that we've already welcomed you in, and we will get back to you as the comments when we get to the comments section time. So yeah, welcome to the floor is yours. So our topic, hey, a virtuous woman. The question is, are you a virtuous woman? Flex, let's talk about that tonight.
Yeah. So if you watch the show, we talked a lot about the need for people in relationships to be on the same page. So you got people coming in from different, lives, different backgrounds, different challenges, and often some of the challenge with that is trying to align and get on the same page as far as your goals, your principles that guide that relationship. So one of the things I know that we see on social media a lot is what is a woman's role in a relationship and what is the man role. And we see, and I'm not saying it's a right or wrong or good or bad. People go in them how they want. But what we see though is that a lot of women are heavy on what the man can do for her. And one thing that almost sounds like to me that you can be bought as long as that dude is providing a
Mm,
house and trips and things of that nature, that he has a level of control or influence over your life, whether good or bad or indifferent. And I like that first verse of that Proverbs 31. It says, when it's the part where it's describing the virtuous wife, it says that she is worth more than rubies. So that tells me that your value is worth more than any amount of dollars or gifts that he can give you. And I know me, I've been guilty of that. When I've done wrong, I try to make up by gifts. And
mm,
sometimes it worked and sometimes it's not. But as I've matured, I don't. It's not a good way to do it. I'd rather just, if I do wrong, because I'm going to do wrong, but first try not to. Not. But I'm not perfect. So in those instances that I do make a mistake, not try to buy her with or win her over with gifts. And so part of that again is just understanding for a virtuous woman that her value far exceeds that of rubies. And I'm sure you agree with that, right?
I mean, with the way you just broke it down, I mean, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't always like that
Oh
because
no.
they didn't break it down like you just did.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's that 20th century, type of stuff.
Yeah, so won't you take us to describe what a Proverbs 31 woman is?
Okay, well, let's go for this. So it says Proverbs 31 describes a woman that is to be praised because of her godly character. This passage, the passages were written as if a mother is giving wise advice to her son to seek a woman of noble character, or what we are calling a virtuous woman. For me, in reading this, it should bring clarity on what's important to seek in a mate. Women reading this should gain clarity on how God made us to be instead of the confusing chaos that the world tells us. And so basically as we read these 10 characteristics, excuse me, I ask that you do not be discouraged if you are not currently meeting any of these, but more so to look at them as inspiration for what to become.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not going to go through the 10. I picked 10 that I think are the more prudent or important ones. And in the audience, please chime in. We'll get to your comments and read them because we want to make sure that your voice is heard. But the first one that I picked out, I see is resourceful and hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
It says that she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task, and she sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. So when you're talking about a virtuous woman or Proverbs 31 woman is being resourceful and hardworking, that's almost in conflict in my mind with how a lot of people want their relationship to be. You know, it's the hard work is and this, we're not just talking about sweat hard work.
Mm.
A woman that is putting in just as much as that man is putting in. And I know sometimes a man in these days is judged on his ability to earn enough money to provide for that family. And this in my mind is speaking directly against that. Would you agree, or do you want to speak on that?
When I look at that, and I did, it says she's working. As a matter of fact, she's prepared. She's a very prepared woman. She's structured. She knows how to be basically here is a helpmate.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is that it looks like she has a balance of if all of it, considering all that she has on her plate, she is a balanced woman as well.
Yeah, that's good. And the money that she's earning is not her money
She
to keep.
invests for
Yeah,
the family.
yeah, it's for the family. And it's really a common sense thing for me. And I know a lot of men, not just the woman doing it, but a lot of men is even building that persona that somehow you're supposed to be able to earn enough money yourself to take care of your family and take care of all their needs. And if we're honest and just common sense about it, is sometimes it's not the case. Are there some high earning men that can? Yes. And if that's how you set your family up, good. But just think if you're in a town where there are a few jobs that pay at that level and you put that expectation on yourself as a man, like that defines your worth is your ability to take care of a family solely by yourself. Now, I just don't think that is realistic in some instances. Again, I'm not saying it's a right or wrong thing. If you want to work the fingers to the bone and let your woman sit home or use her money herself because that's how y'all structure it, by all means do it. But I think you also have to be mindful and conscious that of the strain that can put on the man and that relationship.
So reading this, it sounds like she's in preparation. Like I don't really know. I want to get deep into this because you're making me think. Because looking at this point, is she she's a Proverbs 31 woman, but is she single during this process of being able to do all of this, but knowing when she gets with a mate that she's able to, like I say, balance it out.
That's a good thing. So we talk about that verse that say he who finds a wife finds a
But
good
she was
thing.
doing it before.
Yeah, so she was already preparing for how she's going to perform. I talk a lot about we play how we practiced. So if I practice, of being a hardworking man, I don't have to flip a switch all of a sudden when I get in a relationship. I'm already performing as a husband, and likewise for her, she's already has those qualities. Now, if this man is out seeking a wife, he's seeing these qualities and understand that she's bringing a great version of herself to this relationship. So that's how I look at it.
Well, I mean, I'm just in being honest. Sometimes we're good at being in the church and we use this scripture a whole lot, but I don't think that we've actually taken the time to dissect it because it
Yeah,
definitely got me with a big ping ping over here. And I don't think I've ever just walked through lifetime. Oh, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. Not the fact that I didn't want to believe the scripture, but I think just really sitting down, reading it like for line, like dissecting it makes a whole lot of sense. So I don't never want them to think I'm the whole Bible scholar. I do get into it, but this is very interesting. And it does make you sit back as a woman to do more self-reflection prior until going into marriage or desiring it. To give you a little bit more insight that knowing that you're already tending to yourself and you're already knowing how to invest and you're already knowing how to do things, that when you do get into where he comes and finds you, there is a sense of balance, not an overload, but a sense of balance for
yeah,
both of you. value out for both
Yeah.
the man and the woman.
Yeah. And whatever you do, however you set your relationship up, just
Right.
talk about it and let it be realistic and fair. So that's the way. So let's go a couple of these comments. We want to make sure we get to them before we get too far. Again, you welcome people in the beginning, but
Hey,
Miss
Sonia.
Sonia says hello. Appreciate you tuning in. I don't know who the Facebook user is, but they got a few comments and he's
Mm-hmm.
saying also they also said some don't know their value or worth. And we talked about that in the beginning. If a woman understands that her value far exceeds rubies, and those are the high end jewels back then, when the Proverbs was written, then she can't be bought, or can't her behavior or her allegiance can't be bought by money or gifts. And we
Mm-hmm.
talked about that again, how men sometimes just take that easy way out. I've done wrong. Well, let me buy you a gift, and and do it. And not trying to discount it. Gifting can be a form of a love language, and it helps person, men, whatever. But
But
we
not to
all
disregard the behavior that you've done in giving it to me.
that's it. That's it. Yeah. So Corey said, "Look, I appreciate you tuning in,
What's up,
Corey.
Corey?
Hope you and Heather are both on there, and we always enjoy our regulars. And thanks for the shout out. This Facebook user again. You want to take this one?
It says as men we naturally have the want to provide, and that's the stressful living in a small town. And I agree with that. Now that you reading a little, when you get to reading it, when we begin to dissect separately, because what we do is try to just focus more on what the man is supposed to do, providing. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But we never go back until into what she is before she even gets with him. And like I say, it's just a big ding, 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 a big eye opener. It's like a wow moment. And not that women don't possess this, because we look at it from a different angle. We done took care of these kids and we've been doing all that. It's not really a strike against us. It's just what we've been groomed to do in the absentee of a father. And I'm not saying that men should be absent, but I'm just saying you still have to step into that place. Now, even though it doesn't talk about her having children, it looks like she was still prepared, that even in the event that they came along, she knew how to plant, she knew how to do things, she knew how to get out here and do it without feeling lesser than a woman, still keeping the softness of who she is,
Yeah.
but being prepared to move forward and relinquishing some of the weight off of her in the event, but also being strong enough and prepared to be able to help in any manner that she's needed in that space
Yeah.
that
And
she's
again, and for me, it's a common sense thing. If
yeah,
it don't fit, if the man has to work 80, 90 hours, then
yeah.
I mean, how strong is that relationship? Because also, more than providing, he needs to be present. And if he's working his finger to the bone and not ever there, then I think that throws it off balance too. So good point. Alicia, appreciate you. She said, "Hi, family."
Hey,
Yeah, hey, my sister from another mister.
hey, Nanda.
Yeah, good night, G and co-host. Been a minute. It's been a minute. It has. Appreciate you tuning in. So let's move to this next one. It
Okay.
says she's wise. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Now we talked about it and laughed about how a woman's tongue can be lethal. It says that there is power of life and death in the tongue, and we take that lightly. But the thing is, what's that old saying? Words don't hurt. Stick and stone
The
may break my bone,
sticks
but
and
words,
stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. That's the biggest lie I
man,
ever heard.
yeah, yeah, and no, not that people are going to always remember those words. You can apologize, but once they've
Hmm.
been spoken, so she's wise. Again, she speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. So speaking with wisdom implies that you learned something and you learn something of value. It's not just, hey, I'm wise in my own way. There has to be a structure or some principles that you have bought into. And back to in the beginning, understanding what a Proverbs 31 is, who is teaching you? What are you learning? And how are you prepared to implement that? Not when things are only going good, but even when things are not their best and emotions are high, whatever. So that wise counsel is absolutely important. So I'm give you a moment to speak on that as well.
Oh yeah, I mean I know I've been guilty. I mean I can back in the day I didn't have to use my hands to fight, but I could give a sentence structure so cold. I know Jesus looked down and said, "Wait a minute. I know." you didn't just say that. And I'd have to look back and say, yep, it was one of them days. But then as I matured, I began to bridle my tongue and to knew that life and death are, in the tongue. And but I also knew that if I spoke what I knew was going to be a dagger, I knew it would get you off of me, but I also knew that I could take life from you and basically sit there and watch you need life support and not even breathe back into you. I mean, it wasn't right, but that's where I was, because that's that defense mechanism of always having to fight, to prove, or to be valid in someone's life.
Yeah.
So I remember being in those spaces in time. Now, am I there now? No. It's plenty of times I feel like I wanted to be like little Boosie's sister and just set it off, and it was like, because I had to learn sometimes it was bigger than me, but it was also not worth wanting to try to take 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 life from someone. So
That's
I
right.
have learned the value of speaking life and holding back on what you should say, because one thing about it, once words come out your mouth, it's like a repeated record that's on a turntable, and once it gets that scratch in it, all you keep hearing is what's been said to you. You could be driving to the store, and all of a sudden you're supposed to be going here, but you over here, because now all you know is that, and it's simple things. And so I was like, mm. So I learned
Yeah.
how to diffuse a situation and be like, you know what, we just gonna stop talking right now,
Yeah.
because I had to learn that nothing's good gonna come. How are we gonna move forward if I say what I really don't I feel, but I shouldn't? And is
Yeah.
it going to make us better together, or is it going to tear us further apart? And
Yeah.
so I had to learn to step back.
Yeah. And the good thing too about wisdom is that it comes with humbleness.
Mm-hmm.
When you understand the power you have in your words, you use that to lift others up. It's not only for you or your empowerment or to gain advantage over someone, but
Absolutely.
you're actually empowering and lifting other people's up. So again, it is power of life and death in the tongue. So Denisha said, hey guys, appreciate you tuning in, D.
Maybe.
um AJ, she says more than providing, he needs to be present. That needs to be on the shirt. You're right. And that is so important. I say at the end of the day, man, making money is the easy part. You know, you go find a job and I can work and work and work and try to say that's where my value is. But if I'm not present, there's other parts to providing. Is being present and offering that leadership and that security. That's
Being
important.
supportive, it's a balance. It really is.
Yeah, yeah. Alicia said, that's right. Our words have power. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You want to take this
Hmm.
one from Sonia?
Oh, she says, Sonia says words can actually make or break you depending where they come from. So important. Yes, yes, ma'am, and
Mhm.
yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am.
And the thing is, to your point, you just said that people know that. And so that's why they weaponize the words. And even more so when they know your insecurities or your weakness or your triggers, they'll use that in that point. And I'm just thinking about, when we're talking about a virtuous woman, and she will not weaponize the secrets or the hurt points of that man to try to gain advantage over him. And
Hmm.
you know, we can come up with the reasons on why, and that whole humble mindset. But I know we can get defensive and feel the need to defend ourselves
Hmm.
and not do it physically, but doing words. But where we say no one's going to talk to me, or don't. I heard people say this, well, you don't understand unless I'm talking crazy to you.
Yeah, I've heard that saying before.
Yeah, yeah, and it might gain you an advantage in that moment, but I promise you, you're slowly just chipping away at that safety net. You're destroying that safe space that hopefully it was there at one point. So yeah, definitely got to
And then
monitor.
if you, even if that statement is used, that means they struggle in that area. That's a part of them that is unhealed, or have they never tapped into it or really faced it. So you could, like you said, you can weaponize that area. It's like knowing, like, I know, like when you study your enemy long enough, like being on the basket, your opponent. Let me not even say enemy,
Yeah,
your opponent.
yeah,
You'll know how to be like, okay, they run this route all the time, or they always putting this one here. So I kind of use sports sometimes to kind of look at how we use things. So that works for me.
for sure, for sure. I like this comment from AJ. Again, y'all keep the comments coming. We're gonna get to them. She said, wisdom is now, I think she's saying, more about application than know. Absolutely.
Hmm.
You can know something, but the wisdom is how you apply those things you learn.
Absolutely.
I said you have to put to use what you know to benefit you and those around you. That's right. The flip side is in her husband valuing that wisdom,
Mm.
Has he come to the place where he accepts what she brings to the discussion? So again, that goes back to us understanding,
Baby,
like
can I
there are ways that we
let me get some flowers on that one.
yeah, but there's understanding that there's principles to this. And you're right.
Hmm.
What good is it if she's coming with all this wisdom, but he don't value? And it might not seem that there's any good, but hopefully her soft response, this says that acquired response um, turns away wrath. Hopefully that even if it seems like he's not valuing, your words and your meekness and your wisdom, that the way you handle him in a godly way can eventually work on him and turn him for the better.
And then in on the flip side of that, it could too in the same time work against him. Even though we know we can go before the Lord, but it still crushes the woman. It still does something to her when we focus so much on he finds a good wife, but it also says she's a helpmate. But most men don't allow women to help in the regard, not just say bills, but to help him calm himself and to be that the balance in his life. So when that's being shut down, you'd be like, well, what am I here for? Am I here just to
Yeah,
be what you need me to be as a body? Just as a person in your life. So
yeah,
yeah, it is like you said. What you did say was absolutely. I agree with that. I just wanted to add that
yeah,
flip side to it.
for sure. And then just reiterate too, the wisdom implies that it's something that you have learned and known. So
Mm-hmm.
as you're applying these things, it's easier when you know them, before the storm versus now I'm just reacting off of straight emotions. So again, we ain't talking about what feels good, but we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about principles that guide your relationship. So um we got this one from Alicia. I'll let you take this one. I see.
And sometimes our very words come back to bite us in the butt. That may be why the virtuous woman doesn't weaponize words to tear you down.
Absolutely.
Because if they come back and bite us in the butt, baby, we looking around here like we don't got a 360 BBL. I'm just playing. But
Yeah, but that's good though, because you know, again, we said that you can't take those words back. You can apologize.
mm-hmm.
Don't be out there. And now if you're torn down that safe space and this man is looking like, you know what, I'm not sharing my weaknesses, I'm not sharing my challenges with you anymore, because when it came time for me to lean on you for strength, you belittled me, you tore me down. And that stuff it can be lasting and damaging. So definitely want to make sure you bridle your tongue. And hopefully, I'll say this, it's usually a heart issue. And sometimes it's just unlearning bad behavior. Again, there's so many sayings, you attract more people with sugar than vinegar. So just being polite and kind, hopefully he will value you.
Mm.
Yeah. You want to take this one from D?
Yeah. D says you have to know you don't have to fight every battle. Let me shake some more flowers over here. Oh, this for both of y'all, at least two. You don't have to fight every battle. A wise woman knows when to fight and when not to fight.
And how to fight.
Right. Because I feel like even now, I mean, I love word to word black because I mean, I do work, I do hair and all that. But I also noticed that I always would stay with like dark polishes and different things because fighting war, war just come out like that. But when I learned that I didn't have to fight in certain things, that some things were just better to be able to say, I don't have to always feel like I'm winning by saying something back in this situation or I got the last word. Sleep on that. I truly believe the more I digress in not um allowing fuel to be added to the fire, then it was more so working for me, but making the other person, the mate, have to check themselves.
Yeah.
And it made me proud because I know that, like I said, I was good at like I seen something on the book the other day. It says if you tit, I'm a tat 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 tat. Yeah, I was tatting it up, baby. And I ain't talking about tattoos, but I be tapping like a typewriter with this tongue. But learning how to refrain from it and just said, this is something that I don't have to prove myself in. I'm just going to allow it to run its course. And like you say, then let me just lean back on the Lord because I'm sure gonna need His strength through this
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. Tamika said, right, I see, what am I here for? You're right. She should be there to encourage. But if you
Mm-hmm.
don't respect that wisdom, um, again, we're not talking about what's easy and what's expedient.
Mm-hmm.
You got to humble yourself in these relationships and
Yeah.
just understanding that even I can read a million books, and go to counseling 1,000 times. It's a realization too that I'm still human. Now that's not an excuse for me to misbehave or mistreat my mate, but it's a reason to remember why we need grace and
Mm,
mercy and
yeah.
forgiveness. Because there's gonna be some days that I'm off my game, and I'm gonna need that grace and mercy to get me through. So, man, keep them coming, Sonya.
Y'all is
Appreciate you.
interacting tonight, baby. This is what we be talking about. Flowers to all. See, I got some.
Yeah, she says I do. What's I do. Do you know listen to your listen to your inner spirit to know who is your enemy. Some people are just not for you. When you feel it, acknowledge it to yourself. You're right. Sometimes we jumping into these relationships too soon,
Mm,
out of the wrong reason. Lust to the impatient, lust can seem like love. And
mm,
I'm telling you, man, just slow down and wait until people, I ain't saying just pause and then slow walk that thing forever, but make sure you know before you get into that relationship, because when you're in there, we're not designed to jump around from person to person, person to person. So, when you get in there, just take your time to make sure you understand each other, because you're right. Some people are in it not to love you, but for them to be loved and to gain advantage over you. So,
yeah, because some people are codependent, so they don't necessarily even want the relationship. They just want a body, somebody where they don't have to be by themselves. And
yeah.
when that's present, then you don't even feel like there's a connection. You just feel like we're just going through the motion.
Yeah, that's hard. That's a tough space. My homie Run. My
Running,
homie Run.
run.
Yeah, he said a slick mouth will have you by yourself wondering what's going on, like
Yeah,
Marvin Gaye.
not a slick mouth.
Yeah,
Slick.
but it's true, man. Just speaking from a man's standpoint, it's a huge turnoff. It is a huge turnoff. I don't want to deal with it, and because especially constantly. Again, I'm not saying that she has to be perfect and can't go do anything wrong, but if that's happening constantly, there's something deeper there, and you're going to always be using forgiving. Again, forgiveness is for the relationship, but yeah, if you're talking slick to me and belittling me and demeaning me and trying to emasculate me, yeah, we ain't gonna make it.
Slick, baby, like this oil. See that oil? Slick.
Yeah. Tamika said, I'm gonna let you take this one from Mika.
Tamika said, I've learned. Hey, Meg. Tamika said, I've learned to fight with prayer. My hands and tongues used to be really slick, but I've learned that it didn't get me anywhere. And you're right. And I think at one time when I not at one time, I know for sure because I'm learning how to change my wording. Because we be knowing, child, and I think we be talking about I think. No, I know prayer. I should have been putting prayer on that thing, and I wasn't saying nothing. And I
Yeah,
know the devil was probably having a good time. He talking about she ain't even talking to her father who can change some things. And you
yeah,
know, and if I didn't would giving it to the Lord, that would be that times that I just want to vent to a girlfriend. And trust me, 9 times out of 10, that didn't even work. They wasn't encouraging me, they wasn't helping me. So I definitely didn't even have a right circle of married couples that I
yeah,
could go to in that arena, because it does matter who you talk to in when you're married or single. I do believe there's truth in that. But yeah, so prayer is definitely what you have to relinquish to the Lord, and so
yeah,
much not about him, just he doing this, he doing that. Lord, you see what we need within this marriage, within the circumference of what we have going on, and I just need you to do your will in it, because
yeah,
I can't change him. I can work on myself, and I can let you do the rest. I just pray that he surrendered to you while I'm just over here just talking about what you can do better for me to
yeah.
be better. I had to learn that too.
Yeah. And prayer is an act of faith.
Yes.
If I'm coming to the Lord and ask him to intervene on something, hopefully my heart is in my posture and my mind is in alignment with the prayer. And
Yes.
I can't be like, Lord,
Very good.
give this woman some patience, but then I'm over here antagonizing her,
Tapping on them.
vice versa. So again, just remember, if you are praying, make sure that your behavior is in alignment with the prayers that you petitioning the Lord for.
Mm-hmm.
Leisha says it's important to be able to walk away. You're right. And that's in the moment when it's heated. But even when you gave so much and you realize that, you know what, this ain't going anywhere. We're on two different planets when it comes to understanding what we need and want for a successful relationship.
Mm.
Or if it's just, in the heat of the moment, learn to walk away and let cooler heads prevail, and try to, what they say, live to fight another day. I want to take that word fighter out the equation, but learn to interact and solve that
Or
in
to
a
live another
calm.
day. Just say just to live another day together.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
first time I was able to do that and walk away, I was proud of myself. I said, "You better grow up, then, girl."
yeah. And I love this. You say, plus God can handle them a whole lot
Oh,
better.
that's
Listen,
right. I like
ain't
the
a
way she.
man on this planet or a woman on this planet that can handle a prideful man. That it's just the nature of it. So you're right. When you got to hand it over to the Lord and let Him do it, and even when you're talking about the Christian marriage, it says that you can win them over not by your words but by your behavior. So love heals, love covers. So again, it's no exact science to how to love. Love is like a tailor-made suit. It fits each person specifically. You have to learn how to love that individual in a way that's proper. But also to the previous comment, it's important to be able to walk away. If you know that you've given it, and you're using your discernment and you've given it to the Lord, and accept the wise counsel, because I believe in therapy and counseling, and knowing that what, it's a
I
lost
love the way
cause.
you
We're
said
gonna have
love
to
is like a
call it
tailor-made suit, and when
quits.
that suit just right,
Mhm.
or a dress, we get them custom dresses. Like I had for my 50th
Yeah,
birthday, honey.
yeah.
I tailor-made me, Lord. Come on now.
Yeah. Come
Yeah,
on,
thanks,
D. Keep
D.
on tagging folks and get
You know
them in
that,
there
that
so
that
we
used to
can
be the
talk
assignment
to
when she was on here, honey. Benita.
yeah, yeah. Said, oh, that lust will get you every time. I'm telling you, I've been there. Lust
Yeah.
for the impatient, lust does feel like love, you know. Yeah. So
Yes, alignment.
that's it. Alignment. Oh, listen, let's get this one, and then we're gonna get back to the comments.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you take this one from Mia.
Okay. It surely does matter who you talk to and share with, because some don't have good intent, listening to collect intel and then potentially using it to like a weapon later on. Very much true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's horrible, because you in a relationship and you want to be vulnerable
Yeah.
and you want to be transparent and share your secrets. But it's crazy to think that these people are really gathering, like you said, intel on you to use
Yeah.
it against you later. And I've had that, and it's not a good feeling.
Hmm.
And you talking about if you want to destroy the trust, do that to somebody,
They
and
don't
good
call you a
luck
pastor
restoring
tonight.
their trust.
Preach, pastor.
It just ain't good.
Mm.
I ain't a preacher, but don't push me. So hey, let's go to the supportive one. It says she watches over the affairs of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also calls her blessed, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. And that's the thing.
Mm.
Like, what do your kids call you? And I ain't talking about just when they're around you, but what
Mm.
would they say about you when you're not in their presence? Because that really speaks to your character. We talked about being your kids and your mates being a reflection of you. So that's
Mm.
it. So yeah, she's supportive and she watches over the affairs of our household. So it's not just there to be cute. We know people use that. I'm the
Mhm.
queen and I'm the empress, whatever. Well, a queen has duties and responsibilities. And it's not just to be there, just to be a body and just to take in, the good blessings from that man. It's to help him. If you're a queen and he's the king, it's to help
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
manage that kingdom
Come
that
on,
y'all are
manage the
over.
kingdom.
So what do you say
No,
about that?
I agree. They both have different roles and
Yeah.
responsibilities separately, but when they come together, then they still work cohesively together to make everything run in the kingdom. You better come out with the parables.
Yeah. Oh man, listen, Mia said one thing I had to come to terms with was let me draw a circle around myself and fix everything within a circle. Trying to fix someone else will leave
Ooh,
you in a
deplete.
circle of deception and exhaustion. Man, we can do a whole show on this topic right here. What's crazy is that we all do it. We try to fix what we think is wrong with the other person. And what I've learned is the more that we focus on somebody else, the less focus we have on ourselves. What I learned is You can't change a grown person, but I can influence your behavior by my noble character. And that's what I love about the Christian marriage. You know, there's so much wisdom in that right there. And not only the Christian, but I'm just saying specifically that's what I try to fashion myself after. It's, we can see somebody that needs to change, but I promise you, you can get them to adjust their behavior momentarily, but unless they're doing it and
Absolutely.
putting in the work for themselves to better themselves, yes, you got some momentary change just for that moment. In the minute that fear or whatever influenced
Back
them
to
or
the same
encouraged them to
one. Yeah,
change goes away, it's going to be back to square one. So it got to
absolutely.
be from the inside. Change starts from the inside. Yeah.
There go Kristen.
Um,
Kristen,
oh, look at
what's
my
up?
buddy
I think
Christy.
earlier she said something about oh my God, please let me Chris. I love Kristen. She do.
Just to be honest, man. D said, I don't believe in the philosophy never go to bed angry. Sometimes you need to sleep on it in order to get your thoughts together so you won't say the wrong thing. Yeah, and you're right. I agree with you, D. I think that whole don't let the sun set on anger. What he's just saying is not as like a 24-hour
Mm-hmm.
period, but to quickly try to resolve those issues and not let them fester. But you're right. If you try to go in, I guess we ain't finna go to bed and tempers are still flaring, and you might end up in a worse situation. Now, I will say this: as you grow and as you become more mature and wiser, and knowing each other
Mm-hmm.
better, I think you can put those fires out quickly, especially when you understand at the core
Mm-hmm.
and at the foundation that we truly love each other. And you know what? It was just a momentary lapse, but um, also understanding that sometimes what you're feeling is not anger, it might be disappointment. And being able to identify
That too.
whatever true emotion that you're feeling to help you process it better is understanding like, I don't got to be angry. I can be upset. I can be disappointed. And I think understanding that
Yeah, and I
allows
think
me
that
to address
Amanda or
that
Alicia
issue
said it
in a
earlier.
different
It was
way.
about being able to, feel what you feel. And we talk about that a lot. I tell you that if I have a feeling, I feel it, I address it, and I release it. I'm not letting anything fester anymore because, honey, I need to rest. I need my skin to glow. Like when I'm talking to y'all, I just need to be in a good space. And
Yeah,
when you don't, honey, you really just doing a
yeah,
disservice to yourself. So that is a part of my chapter of life. I feel what I need to
yeah.
speak how I feel about it, but I don't let it fester in me. I release it and I let it go.
Yeah, because it says that we're to quickly forgive. And if we're in this relationship supporting each other, but I'm walking around harboring ill will or bad feelings towards you, something happened and you need
Mm-hmm.
me, that could affect, how I respond to you. So, we're just not at our best. There's this often that comes with fear. And I was reading a Bible verse in First John earlier, and it says that where there's love cannot exist in perfect wait fear cannot exist where there's perfect love. Actually perfect love drives out fear. So when you can let your guard down and be, and understand like, hey, I don't have to be fearful that he is going to hurt me or she is going to hurt me. Again, even that person at their worst, it allows us to love a person perfectly, because remember,
Mm-hmm.
love covers a multitude of sin. Yeah. Lisa said we got duties to do. Amen. What
Yeah,
Christy
shoot.
said,
Chris said,
please let
tag me
me
in,
in.
coach.
You in here? Yeah. Lee said my kids would say I made them the men they are today, and I'm proud to say all of my sons are successful. Yeah, they hits at that idea that a woman can't raise a man successfully, and yeah, I never fully bought into that. Now there are some things that I think that it takes a man to be able to make another son understand fully. But to say that a single woman can't raise a successful son, yeah, I just never bought in that. And hats off to you, D, for you was a present mom, doing the best you can with what you
Mm-hmm.
had. So that's
And
not to be
congratulations,
overlooked.
your boys are doing
You
successful
gonna
things.
take
If
this
I was
one
over
from?
in what I think a Korea, give me some coffee,
Oh yeah,
please. Yes, espresso shot me, please. Um,
yeah,
Mia, it says I'm also learning to stop holding the wrong people to the fire who didn't start the fire. They weren't the arsonists. My honey has shown me what it means to disagree respectfully and with the intent to learn. Oh, girl. Mm, yeah. And so when I saw that,
Yeah.
there was one of my sisters in the Lord here. We're dealing with like the full armor, but also she says when it comes to forgiving people or not allowing people to be in there, she says if I feel I need to forgive someone, because this is about prayer time, to give someone before we basically go before the Lord, she says I normally walk through my forgiveness prayer. Lord, I choose to forgive whoever for whatever that is. I tear up all debt that I think they owe me, and I give it to you. I release and choose to give them to you. When she said, I choose to tear up all debt, how you did me, how you hurt me, you don't owe me nothing. The debt is finished. I'm moving forward. And when I heard it in that manner, baby, that did something to me. Tear up the debt. I'm finished with this.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing owed to me, because I want to move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
To be able to experience what she just said, not to put somebody as the arsonist to the past hurts that I've had, because then that blocks me from actually getting out of the fire, the house that was burning down anyway. And so then she says now just the fact of being able to disagree
Yeah.
respectfully with the intent to learn from it. Come on, that's good.
That's it. Yeah. The Bible says also the word says that
I like
let
that,
no debt
boy.
remain except the debt to love. And yeah, being
Yes,
able to release, the past hurt allows you to perfectly love the person you're with too. And again, we're human. The beautiful thing about our emotions, while they might come off in some unloving way sometimes, my emotions are there to protect us. Whether it's anger or hurt or resentment, it let us know that there's something wrong so we can address it. Just think, if we couldn't feel hurt, then we'll stay in unhealthy situations. Being able to experience hurt lets us know, like, hey, we need to address something so that we can be the best
absolutely.
versions of ourselves possible. Yeah. So
Yep,
then she said, nah,
incorrect
I
grammar.
ain't trying to fix
We
anyone.
appreciate
Yep.
incorrect grammar at
Incorrect
time to
grammar at
time.
all. I
It's,
know
it's
that's right.
needed and
Come on with
necessary. Thank you.
come on with the double negatives. But we feel you
Yes,
right. That is not our job. And I think it's like the height of pride when we think it's our jobs to fix somebody else. We're not the creator. And I'm talking about even after our kids get a certain age, even being able to let that go. But yeah, you're right. Um, Nicole, Tamika said, thanks for sharing that. Oh, that's all right, D. We'll get
yes,
to them. You can
yes.
keep being delayed. Just keep your questions coming.
Kristen,
Take this one from
here's the
Christy.
thing that I know, and I know for certain two things for sure. Once, if you want to pertain to wear crowns in your relationship, duties that come with what is that?
Yeah. Dudes that come
Oh, it ran
along
together. Come
with
along
wearing
with
that
wearing it.
crown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's
right,
just people that
Kristen.
wear
Well, because
it.
they good at saying, because I don't be talking about I wear
Yeah.
crowns. I don't. But yeah, they crown. But sometimes that crown gonna slip if your head if it's too heavy, and you got to get yourself up. Yeah, come with duties. Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't just
They
get
come
to
with
be the
duties.
queen for
Yeah,
nothing.
and yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, you don't take it.
Hmm.
You're given that crown. With somebody, we willingly enter and freely enter into that relationship or in those duties right there. So yeah.
Yeah,
Dee says she loved Mia
Mia
answers.
Mia put in at work about who?
Yeah, go ahead. This one
Okay, said I
about you
love
right
that.
here.
I love that. I see some want to hold you at the same place that you already healed and grown from. If we aren't careful and using discernment, we could potentially slip back into that place. And that's very valid, because I just shared something with Gerard on the way home, didn't you? Just about when you want to post something on how you've grown, that devil will get in your ear like, you better not put that out there. That's like putting out your business. Well, it was my journey and I'm healed from it, so I got the right to express that. Now, if that offends whoever that used to be a part of it, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Sometimes we do not share because of the fact of still wanting to put other people's peace before ours. But it's not like you going out there to just drag them. You're not trying to drag them through the mud, but just basically giving a little bit of your story. And some people are going to know who that person is, because everybody basically who you were either married to, who you've dated, all of these different things. And so I had to check myself on that. I was like, girl, you don't, that ain't you no more. You are not bound. You are not in a box anymore. You are not compromising who you are. You are walking fully in purpose. And you do that with your shoulders, back your chest out and walk in that straight line, baby. In case the crown on there, you know how to walk and it won't fall off. Now, I'm just saying. So yeah, that is true, very much so.
Yeah.
Christy. You
Yeah.
know
You
what,
want to
Chris?
take
Let me
this
tell you
one
this.
right
I'm
here
so
too,
glad I've
Christy?
got a whole sentence with you tonight. Usually I be saying, girl, give me more than 2 words. But thank you. I love having you on here. Listen to the fact that I'm a single parent. I have raised 2 boys. One was my biological child, one wasn't. At the end of the day, I tell people or tell anybody of any walk of life, you can raise a boy to be a perfect gentleman or a best gentleman, but you, let me go over here, gentlemen, but you cannot um I'm sorry. And I repeat, you cannot make him a male, nor can you make him a successfully raised young man. Man will and can be held accountable, can make that man of integrity. Girl, that was good. That's what Denisha was basically saying. That
Yeah.
she raised her boys and she did really, and she's done really well. Not saying that their fathers, didn't help along the way, but she did, and they are very successful young men.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's okay to love from a distance. You're right. And in those instances where you're being the woman that God has called you to be, and it don't work, the best gift you can give is the gift of distance. So that keep you from having to
Right.
keep praying for forgiveness because you done lost your cool or whatnot. So yeah, good deal. Lisa, I've been dealing with that. I don't
So
post a
what
lot
I'm
of
so what I'm
stuff
telling you this,
for
and
just
they
that
and
reason.
whoever
I
come
see.
back, they can replay it, whatever. This day, moving forward, be free. It don't matter. They gonna talk whether we tell the truth or let them keep believing the lie. But if I'm gonna leave a legacy of my story, it's gonna be how I need to tell it respectfully, with character, with grace, and all of that. But I'm no longer allowing myself to be in that place. And I encourage you not to do it anymore. How you feel is how you feel, and that's your page. And at the end of the day, if they don't want to be a part of the journey on your page, guess what? Carry on. That's how I'm living my life now. So I just want to give you that, baby. Take these
Yeah.
flowers and carry on,
Yeah.
okay? Love you.
Yeah. So we're gonna hit this one right here, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap this show up. It says she is a giver and she shows empathy. And it says,
Mm,
and the verse says, she extends her hands to the poor. Yes, she
mm,
reaches out her hands to the needy. That's verse 20. And that's empathy part. I remember I followed
mm,
this doctor. Her name is Dr. Ramani. She's on YouTube, man. She is a wealth of knowledge when you're dealing with mental health crisis and some of the personality disorders. But her and her husband, her ex-husband, of course, they're divorced now. But they asked them both, like, if they had to go back and refocus on what to teach their kids. She said, and they both
mm,
agreed that the number one thing would be empathy, the ability to have empathy towards others and their challenges, and not, especially in those that are in closest proximity to you. We put the most weight and expectation on our mates, but you have to have some empathy and understand,
mm,
like, what, they not at their best. They might be challenged with something at the moment, and just because they're your mate, that doesn't mean that
mm,
they want to perfectly love you. So being able to empathize with what they're going through, even though it's not you. Like, empathy just says, like, hey, I might not understand, but I can offer a level of sympathy and softness towards you, and know, like, hey, you're not your best, you're not perfect, but I'm not going to
mm. Absolutely.
demean you or belittle you for what you're going through right now. Yeah. uh
Hey,
Somebody, I think
Tina,
this is for
how are
you right
you,
here,
sister?
Tina Williams.
Glad. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah. Hey, Mill's still on that distance here. That this may keep some folks from being on snap or in the grave.
Girl, I've
Amen.
been there. I
Yeah,
see how
kidding,
people
but so
snap, and I see
serious.
how
You're
first
right.
48 come
Yeah.
about. Come on.
Yeah. And she says needy
Absolutely.
doesn't mean allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. Absolutely. And Dee says she loves you too. So hey, let's go ahead and
And you
wrap
gave
this
us
up.
that
I'm gonna
last
let you
part when
give
it
us
said
some
her
good
husband
parting
character
words, and we're gonna
influence who. Oh, well, go ahead and read it.
no, that's for me. No,
Oh, okay.
that's later. I
Boy,
didn't
let
mean,
me
yeah,
tell
but
you
I'm gonna let you
something.
wrap the show up.
That's for me. You see
Yeah.
how I had to bite my tongue
Yeah.
now this plan. So we're wrapping up the discussion with a love note. And it is about, a virtuous woman. So my thing is, I would suggest, because I ain't telling y'all what to do. I would suggest that you really take the time to really understand, or to go back and really read this particular passage, just to get a understanding of clearly of what you choose to be moving forward for yourself first. And if you're already married, then I'm pretty sure this is already attached to your life. And if it's not, then you can add it. But for those of us moving forward, even starting over, this is a good passage to go back into, just to dissect and to really absorb into our spirits, knowing that there are some other things that come along with just wanting to be a wife, but being prepared before we get the husband or the mate. And it's a lot that she did. When I look at all of this, she had a she I if you want to call them hats, we'll call them hats, but she had a lot of responsibilities to herself first, that she was able to accomplish and was able to do, and she did it gracefully. It sounds like, honey, if she did it with not having to feel like she was just putting on a fake persona for somebody that was coming to get her, and when they got her, she just appeared back to her old self, because she was already who she was before he came. And if we can just take that, let us be who we are to ourselves before we're looking for it to be in any man. And when we connect on who God sends to us, then we're able to still function within our own personal selves, and then collectively with the man and the mate that we're supposed to be with. So that's all I really have to say. It's not even a long love note, but it is a bit. Basically, I just want y'all to do self reflection before you want to do a collective relationship reflection. Be all you can to yourself. Love on yourself. Do the things that you desire to do in the capacity that makes loving you is of the utmost important. And when that mate comes, he's going to love you just like you love yourself. And then find those ways that, if you know that there's some things that you struggle with, as far as even speaking and responding to different things, that you get all of those things under control and allow it to go back to the Lord, and say, there's some areas I need some help in. Can you help me with this? Because I do want to be able to do all of the things that are listed in the Proverbs 31 scripture. And then that will make me what I'm supposed to be within my marriage and relationship, prior to marriage. So yeah, if I've learned nothing else doing this last year, it has been very, very important to do that self-reflection. It has been very important for me to date myself and to love myself, and to find the things that I know that I can work on within me. And to say, I believe I even told Gerard the other day, when I told you I felt defeated. That was an honest response for me, but I didn't sit in it, and it was only because, probably, child, I think I felt like I still had a little something. I was bloated or something. I don't know. But I felt defeated because I didn't finish something. But I was like, tomorrow is a new day. I feel that I'm not defeated. This was just a slip up. Release it and keep going. So I've learned to even extend my own self grace and empathy and all of those things. And that and then I must add this: intentionality is my biggest word. Strategically, in every area of my life, I choose to be intentional on how I handle people, how I allow people to handle me, how I choose to allow you in my life. If I don't, it's not that we not connect, we're not friends. I just know that my space now is very sacred. It should have been a long time ago. But when I learned for myself that I was an enabler, but I was also codependent in some areas too, because if I didn't have something to tend to or take care of, it allowed me to stay with somebody that need me, and I enable them to stay in the same place of needing somebody, instead of depending on the Lord to come in and to do the healing. And so, yeah, this chapter moving forward has brought about a change, and I'm thankful for it. But once again, it all went back to self. As if you look at the Proverbs 31, it was about her. It was about what she knew to do, how she knew how to do different things, and she kept it moving. But and how her children respected and valued her. That's the biggest thing too. I remember living the unsaved life in front of my children. Yeah, I've either influenced or impacted one of them to do different ways, or to cause them to not know how to feel or give empathy. I can relate to all of this. But when my life changed, they began to check me. If they saw me going down the wrong path again, they was like, that ain't even where you are anymore, because you changed before us, and we know where you used to be. So that was value within itself, that my children can say, I ain't even gonna let my mama go back that way. And if this one ain't good, if I'm gonna tell her that nigga don't mean you no good. So all I'm telling you, is do the self work, do the self reflection, and allow yourself to be intentional about you as you move forward, so that you know that when you get into the relationship, you're able to do the same as well as be the helpmate. And that's my love note on tonight.
Good stuff as always. And we got a few more comments we're gonna get to them, but I just want to say this real quick and real short. One another thing about the Proverbs 31 is her husband's or her mate's character influences who she is. In that verse 23, Proverbs 31:23 says, her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. Who you choose is so important. It literally will make it or break, just your quality of life, your kids' quality of life in the generations to come. And the unspoken understood part of this is that when it says that he's known when he sits among the elders, he's known for something good, not for buffoonery, not that he's this hard, hood dude that'll get in your butt. Not, he is known for his wisdom. He is known for his meekness. He is known for being present. He's known for just being an upright leader amongst the other men that he sit at the gate with. So again, it's better for you to stay single than get into a relationship with a man that's not going to honor and support your who you're supposed to be in a relationship as a virtuous woman. So just want to leave y'all with that part right there. Yeah. Got a couple more comments. Was this one right here from Tiffany? She said,
Yes.
Miss Chic. Okay, I like that. We're gonna start calling you that. You gave the best heels. We say you gave you the best heels. You walked
And I
heavy
love when
yet
she said
again.
with
Amen to that.
simplicity.
With simplicity, yeah. Appreciate the comments, Tiffany. Dee said amen. Tiffany said
Yes, thank
self-reflection.
you.
Yeah, yourself is everything. So
Oh yes, we
appreciate
enjoyed y'all
everybody for
tonight.
tuning in. Yeah, we
Yeah,
said
that's
that we
what
was
G
only gonna be
said.
on for about 15 or 20 minutes, but
It was.
but the conversation was involved. It was
Oh,
engaging.
she said
I
I
think
had my best
it
heels
was
on.
much needed.
And I walked
Yeah,
heavy in
yeah.
them, she said tonight. Come on.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you, Tip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tiffany, good friend, man. She good people. Appreciate you tuning in, and everybody for tuning in. So I
Well,
see. Won't
I
you
mean, I
close
really
this
don't
out?
want to leave y'all, but we gotta go. I mean, y'all ain't gotta leave here, but you gotta
Why
go
not?
and do
Why
something.
you
But
don't?
anyway, as we always say in the very beginning of the show, like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms. If you miss being able to tune in on tonight live with us, go back and press the replay. Let us know you in the replay status, and just give us some feedback on what you may take from it. Drop us a few nuggets that we can go back and read and then have further discussions. So we enjoyed you all on tonight. Thanks for always giving us healthy dialogue and giving us nuggets to take from the shows that we do and the conversation pieces that we bring. The mastermind behind it is always on point, and I appreciate you, Flex, for all that you do to even pull me, the betterment of me, out as your sister. And so it makes me think. And so, honey, I'm just saying thank you. We love you all. Tune in again. I don't know if next Tuesday we on with something, but it's always our Tuesday night. But we'll let you know. So we love you all. Have a wonderful and restful night on tonight, and we love y'all. Flowers.
Now it's my turn to tell y'all about my big bro Gerard in the podcast crew. From DJ to realist, Miss Cookie to Professor, and you can't forget about the inspiration shit. They talk about it all, got advice for us all. You'll never know how deep the talks will go. On the weekdays, the weekends, they be going live with the topics. Then they do the segment where the floor is yours. You can post your comments, You can post your statements, yeah. You can ask your questions, They can help you get your life moving in the right direction. If you need advice on marriage, advice on finance, advice on healing, advice on credit, this the podcast that you need to check out. Go ahead and tune in, you'll feel what I'm talking about. Baby, don't forget the floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I mean the floor is yours. Baby, come down to the floor is yours. Let me show you how the floor is yours. Hey, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
And Ivory, we seen you get in there. Shout out to you, girl. I saw you. Love y'all. Yeah.
Oh
Good
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ivory was